Hey everyone, welcome back. Welcome back to my channel, and we're having another chit chat with Graeme and Lynn. How is that? So I was going to do some other things this week, and I did that. Some of you called it a mini series on life over 50 and just some thoughts that we had, and so I thought I might just do one more. And the reason is, as you can see in the title, it was a little like, maybe sounded a little like doom and gloom, from hospice to suicide to mental health. And I don't want my channel to be doom and gloom, but life can take over. And so Graeme and I got coffee, I got a blanket. I don't know if you can even see that, but we're sitting on the couch. It's a little chilly in New Jersey. We're not used to having 60-some degree weather. It's cooling down at night. I'm enjoying it, but I just got a chill. So I'm just got, you're in my living room, we're chilling, we're hanging out. So let me explain the title, explain why I called it that, and then kind of fill you in some of my thoughts, and Graeme can jump in whatever you want to jump in, or you can just sit there and look handsome. But so some of you know me personally, and many of you don't, and that is our dog snoring away. So please ignore the sounds that you might hear. It's not us. But without going into like tons of detail to protect privacy and all that, in the last 48 hours, I'd say 48 hours, right? We have had a family member have to deal with a hospice situation. We're still not 100% sure what all that means, and yeah, we're in the beginning stages of that, let's just say. We also had a family member commit suicide. It sounds crazy, like you say, it was so unexpected, like you ever expect that, but it's that kind of unexpected, like, there are other things that are unexpected. I didn't know it was going to rain today, and you can deal with it. But suicide, you're like, your brain does not compute that. And we've had that in the last 48 hours. And then we have another family member who has mental health issues. Some of it's from trauma. And I don't know the whole story behind this family member. I've heard things growing up, but in any event, yeah, it's amazing when you wake up in the morning and you start your day off, and then 48 hours later you've dealt with hospice, mental health, and suicide. So it's been kind of a sobering, I'd say, a couple days. I've had 2 days off from work, my normal 2 days off, and in those 2 days I've had to sort through all three of these things, some of which I was directly involved in, some of it I'm not quite involved in yet, but I will be. Taking care of people in the family, running around doing a variety of things, and it was just, Graeme and I were just talking about the video, a series that we did with being 50 and older, and our perspectives that we had. And first of all, I want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I'm sure Graeme feels the same. The words of encouragement, the outpour of kind words, sharing of your hearts on how there's not enough videos on things for people over 50, and just a fresh perspective. And someone said we were innovative, and it was amazing. And I got an email. It was interesting. I didn't tell you about this, but well, first of all, I got a phone call today. Hello, Cindy, and hello, Jane. If you're watching, I got a phone call today when I got to work, and they must have called me when I was off. I didn't tell you this. And I answered I listened to the voicemail at 7 o'clock this morning. I'm going to put my coffee down. My leg's falling asleep. I have to adjust. And anyway, I get to work at 7 in the morning after having 2 days off and dealing with all this stuff, and discouraged. I don't know if I was discouraged, but kind of, a little bummed out about some stuff, and just wishing things would be different or better or whatever. You get all those thoughts going through your head with a variety of things going on in life. Anyway, I get this phone call, and she's thanking me for one of my videos that I did, and she said that I just brought tears to her eyes. And she ended up on the voicemail, she was crying in a positive tears. And she just said that I really encouraged her to change her attitude in some areas of her life. And I sat there at my desk at work and I went, I never thought my words could be so powerful, impact anyone to the point where she wanted to truly make a change. And then for her to call me and thank me for that blew me away. And then I got a really cool email from Chris. And if you're watching this, Chris, I can't thank you enough for your words of encouragement, your support. Your emails always come at the best time, the gifts you have sent me. And I would be too embarrassed to read Chris's email. But basically, that was kind of cute, because many of you have commented on, I have several eyeglasses frames. I get them online, they're cheap, and I like them to coordinate with my outfits. And sometimes I wear them on the regular and I change them up, and other times I don't. But anyway, she said that I needed to change and exchange 3 of my pairs of glasses because of on one of the videos I said something that I don't see myself as, and things like how I see myself. And she joked about no one's a size 2, especially when they're in their 50s and they've had children or they've not had children. Your skin changes. And she was just quite humorous in the way she said it. And then she said, you need to borrow my eyeglasses. And she listed about 20 qualities that she sees in me. And that's why I said I would be too embarrassed to read it in front of you. But because I would feel like awkward, it's, how do you brag on yourself? It was I was touched, but I would feel weird on camera doing that. But anyway, and she just was so complimentary. And I say all this because Graeme and I were talking, and I had done a podcast a while ago, and how did it go?
About the pallbearers?
Yeah.
Yeah. About it takes 6 people. The number of people it takes to hold up somebody with
so that's what it was. So it takes 6 to 8 people to hold up your coffin as pallbearers. Just picture that, 6 to 8 people when they lift up that coffin to carry you out. And it said if it takes 6 to 8 people to carry you in your coffin, what would it be like if 6 to 8 people were to carry you now while you're alive? So I have a podcast that I do seasonally. You can find it on YouTube, and I'll leave a link below. It's called Hope for Today. And it is faith-based, but if you are interested, you can check it out. But I talked about lifting each other up. And I had to think through what we've been through in the last 48 hours of hospice and mental health and suicide. And the hospice is a natural progression. What is it? Progression. Thank you. Woo. Progression of life that you can't change. It's inevitable. We're all going to die. Some die very quickly, suddenly, things happen, whatever. If not, and you age out, then these kinds of things with hospice will take place, and there's not a whole lot that I can do. The person with suicide, I don't know. If they had been lifted up better, if they had been encouraged more, would it have made a difference? I don't know. We have had, in both sides of the family, we've had family members commit suicide. That is, how do I say it? That is mentally foreign to me.
Yeah.
I've had down days. I've had some dark times of my life. There are times that I've actually, I wouldn't say contemplated actually committing suicide, but more so thinking about what would it be to just end life, just be done, because I am so either fearful or down or discouraged, or I don't know that I've gotten to that. I know I haven't gotten to that point. I don't know what gets you to that point. And then this other family member that has mental health, for various situations, I cannot be directly involved in their life or helping them in that way. But I can rally around those who are. But it just gave Graeme and I think, food for thought. Like we were just talking about lifting people up. And Graeme was talking about in the last video that we did about being a mentor to the next, like we are like that generation. Like our parents, if we're blessed to still have parents living, they're that much older. They're probably in their 80s, 90s-ish, you know. I mean, if we're in our 50s, you know, most parents would at least be 70s, 80s, 90s. So that generation is moving, you know, out. And we're moving up. We are like the generation to raise up the next generation. And you talked about being a mentor to them, and I forget how else you worded it, but maybe a leader.
Yes.
Yeah. But I think just, you know, thinking about lifting up each other, I really want to do that on this channel. I want to do cooking, and I want to do crafting, and I want to do homemaking, and I want to do, I don't know what I want to do. I want to do lots of things. I want to do tons of stuff. I love sharing with you guys. I love chatting with you guys. I like showing you guys things. I just get excited about the little things in life. If I, you know, when I buy my coffee mug for $2 at the thrift store, I have to tell my friends. I get excited. And I want those things on my channel, but I also want to be someone that has invested in your life. I want to be able to lift you up. I will never meet some of you. I had someone else ask me if I ever do meetups, and I would love to do a meetup. I will be honest with you. I mentioned this in one of my other videos that I really am an introvert. I am not an extrovert. I can go on stage very well. I've become more comfortable with the camera. I think because of the position I am in at work. Oh my word. When I first had to get up and do announcements and I had to do things at work, it was terrible. And the more you do it, you know, practice makes progress. And the more I did it, I don't like it, but you do become more comfortable. And it's part of what I have to do. And then I had to, as part of my job, I had to have a podcast. And so I had to get very comfortable with a camera and talking to a camera, and there's nobody looking at me. I'm not having this interaction. And you do become more comfortable with that. So to meet up with you in person, I will do it. I will do it. But it will take every ounce in me to just be comfortable in my own skin. And I talked about that. Learning to be comfortable in your own skin. I have so much I wanted to say, and now I'm drawing a blank. I really, really want to encourage you to find somebody, anybody. If you feel, if you're faith-based and you feel the Lord leading you in the direction of a thought comes to mind, a person comes to mind, go after that person. However you do it, you know, I would say, if you were to ask me, I'd say I would pray about it. Interestingly enough, I taught a class on Monday, card making. Not a big deal, right? Pulled out a bunch of stuff, we went at it, and everything I do, I really try and turn it into something meaningful. I like everything that I do in life to have a purpose. I drive you crazy with this. Like, there's got to be a reason I'm doing something. And I'll even say to him, there's no purpose in that. If there's no purpose, I don't know how to do it. I don't want to do it. So I try and even, my teaching, my classes, I try and turn them into a purpose. So I said to the ladies, here's the deal. It's $1 a card. And that's what I started off with. And then I just said, give me $1 a person and make as many cards as you want. I wanted it to not break the bank for, some of these people don't have money. But I said, I want you to at least make 2 cards. One you can make and keep and do whatever you want with. But the second one, I want you to ask the Lord to lay someone on your heart that needs a word of encouragement. Whether you put a Bible verse in there, you just say thinking of you, or a poem, or whatever. You know, it doesn't have to be this long thing. And make a card for somebody. And I want you to think about it. Whether it's this week while they were here visiting at my conference center that I work at, or when they go home, hang on to that card and think of somebody that you think could use a word of encouragement. Well, it was really cool because I had to leave early and head over to the hospital to go see my dad. So I left them with all my stuff. And as I was getting ready to leave, the one lady said, "Oh, here, Lynn," and she hands me it looked like a piece of paper. And I said, "Okay, guys, see you later." I got in the car and in my van, and I opened it, and she made a card for me. And she put a little note in there, and I don't know this woman. I've never met this woman. I met her at the card class, but she was challenged to make a difference in someone's life, and that difference was my life. So I really want to challenge you all. I don't know where you are. You might be so down in the dumps right now and saying, "I'm the one that needs to be encouraged." I get that. I totally get that. I have started several ministries and many things through my life that most times it stemmed from me being lonely or depressed or discouraged. And here's my attitude, okay? I'm going to just tell you how it is. I joke with my husband, I'm allowed 7 minutes of pity. Boo-hoo, Lynn can have pity. After that, get up and do something about it. Now, I'm not saying that's easy for everyone, and by no means do I know where you are coming from. But here's what I want to challenge you and really encourage you. If you're down in the dumps and you're feeling low, you're feeling blue, you're feeling discouraged, or maybe not. Maybe you are in your prime and you're doing really good and you want to make a difference. Either way, do something for someone else. When I'm down and I reach out and do something for someone else, most times it picks me up. When I'm feeling good about myself and I'm feeling good about life and I do something for someone, I probably have more energy to do that. And I really want to challenge you to make a difference in a life. I have 3 family members that are going through some rough stuff. One family member is gone. We'll never see them again. Another one is dealing with mental health issues from trauma, from several issues. And again, I cannot connect with them personally for a number of reasons, but I could send them a card. I could do something like that. And the other one is on hospice, so how can I encourage them in their last while on this earth? I can, share maybe a verse with them. I can write them a card that someone could read to them. I don't know. I don't have all the answers. I'm not saying I have all the answers. But what I am saying is I know that investing in a life makes a difference. Being there for somebody makes a difference. You all, by leaving comments of words of encouragement, makes a difference. It made so much of a difference that he's back. Now he's sitting here. God bless you. He's sitting here very quiet. He's not a camera person, but he was excited to be part of this.
Right.
And your words of encouragement encouraged him to be part of this. I think one of the coolest things that I read I think more so on the first video that we did together, doesn't matter, but how many people said they liked seeing us as a team? Graeme and I are very similar, right, in a lot of ways, and very different in many other ways. I like the toilet paper hanging from this side, and he likes it over the top. It drives me crazy. And, one thing I had to learn, okay? When you're in your 20s and 30s and you're first married, there's some issues that you have, like you look back and you think, how stupid. Yeah, we did those things. I did those things, not so much him, it was me. But washing the dishes, there is a way to load the dishwasher.
Really?
Yes, there is. And he will load it. And I will have to, when he's not looking, reload it because it drives me crazy. But he would wash the dishes a certain way and I'd be, honey, that's not right. Am I right? And he'd be like, go in the other room. I had to learn. Bottom line is, the dishes were washed, dried, and put in the cabinet. And you couldn't tell which bowl he washed and which bowl I washed because they were both clean. So we each have our own way of cleaning the dishes, but in the end, the results are the same. I think that's one lesson you start to learn, as you get older and mature and you realize some of those things that you did in your 20s and 30s were like ridiculous. Like, can you believe we argued over that? But then we argue over things in our 50s, and I'm sure when you're 60, 70, and 80s, you look back and think, when you were 50, you were so young. We are in our 50s, 50 plus. We'll just say that.
That's right.
That's that's enough to share right now. But we're just talking about that if, you know, the next couple of years for us, we had our youngest, we were a little bit older, and we adopted. So a lot of people by now at our age are empty nesters and downsizing and all that kind of stuff. And so we're going into a new phase of life, and I need to be encouraged. I kind of have a scary moment of like, you know, what do we do now? Like, kids are grown, and how do we start setting up home for just our next phase? And do we downsize? How much do we downsize? Do we clean out the house? What do I do? And thinking of retirement. I'm not ready to retire yet, but
I hope not. I'm not.
Good. You know, but you know, financially, all these things, what do you do? How do you do it? Kids that are married, and now my kids are married and they don't have children yet, but I'll be a grandparent at some point, I hope. If Graeme and Heather, if you're listening, we want grandchildren.
What did we say the other day? Inflatable kids.
Yeah, my husband said we're going to order inflatable children on Amazon.com because we're never going to get any grandchildren. So, sense of humor he's got. Yeah. What did Graeme used to say, our son? He was going to have a cyber wife and cloned children. Remember that?
That's right.
When he was little. Side note. But Graeme and I do have a good relationship. We both love Star Trek. All the way Star Trek. We do not dress up as Klingons or Ferengis or anything like that. We don't speak Klingon, but we do love Star Trek, so much so we watch it every night before we go to bed. We love the Star Trek movies. We love Star Wars. We love Cherry Coke. Right?
That's right.
We both love to be adventurous and just get in the car and drive and see where it takes us and check out new streets that we've never been on. And Graeme loves photography and I love arts and crafts, but we're both very creative. Maybe a different outlet, but Graeme's a sketcher. That's not my thing, but I like other crafts, so we enjoy being creative together. I don't like gardening. Graeme loves to garden. So we have separate things that we also enjoy, and I think we just complement each other a lot.
Right.
But I can honestly say, and I have found my soulmate. I found my husband, no doubt, and the person I wanted to spend the rest of my life with, but I found my soulmate. And I never quite understood that, but I probably was in my 40s when I kind of look back at our marriage and things that we had been through and so on. And yeah, I mean, we fight. We have had our fights. We've had our differences. We've had some rough years, but we survived it. We made a commitment to each other. And I am blessed to be able to say I have a partner that I can do life with, that loves me in spite of, holds me accountable, reminds me gently when I need to straighten up, and encourages any endeavors that I have. I wanted to do YouTube. He said, okay, let's do it. Anything I want to do, he backs me up 100% and is always looking for new ways and new ideas on how to do things. I remember Graeme's mom telling me she never thought he'd find a wife that would love him and want to marry him because of his seizures. And I remembered when I don't quite remember you telling me you had epilepsy, but I just knew about it. I don't really know. And I saw him have a few seizures when we started to get to know each other, and then we dated, and it really didn't faze me. And I remembered my dad saying to me, you realize this is a lifelong commitment. You're marrying a man that is disabled. You're marrying a man that has seizures. Not that my dad wanted to discourage, but he really wanted me to think through this, like, don't marry this man and then leave him because you can't handle it. And I think Graeme's seizures have been a blessing in our life, if I can even say that.
Yeah.
We have had to learn to walk together, to do together, to reinvent together because of his disability. But because of that, we have drawn closer. I think our family is closer. Our kids are closer. We always look out for each other. This video is quite interesting, isn't it? It's gone in many different directions. But the bottom line is, I think we have tried to encourage each other.
Right.
And you want to try that? I think that's great. Go for it. Maybe the person you need to lift up is your spouse, your partner. Maybe the person you need to lift up is your kids. Ooh. Mamas, I know that's tough. Whether your kids are younger, teenage, or older and married, sometimes our kids can drive us crazy, but just think how crazy you and I drove our own parents. You know, there's things my kids do and I think, I remember doing that to my mother. Maybe there's a coworker, maybe there's a family member. I don't know who it is, but I would love for you to comment and tell me that you're going to take on the challenge to lift and encourage someone up. Write somebody a card, text them, make a phone call, email. What else can you do? Leave a message on Instagram. You know, there's so many social outlets that you can do. Maybe just pop in and visit them, whatever. But not only a one-time thing, but I think we need to find people that we can, you know, when you're in your 50s and you're in your 60s, you've been through life, you've done life. I think you're at a good age where you're still okay, you're not getting that much older where, you know, you're slowing down so much that you can't do. I think we're at a good age where we can find somebody or find one or two people and say, you know what, that person right there, that one, I really want to invest in their life. How can I be doing that? How can I come alongside them and lift them up while they're alive? Not be a pallbearer and carry the casket. People need to be lifted up. We don't know the person we're lifting up, the purpose that they have in life, and we can be part of that. And you know, I'm a firm believer in the more you do for others, it does come back. It might come back differently, but I think it comes back, and you're going to find by you lifting someone else up, that encouragement is going to be right behind you. So I don't know. That's all I got to say. We've been through a rough 48 hours with hospice, suicide, and mental health. It has sort of sobered us. It's sort of numbed us. It is, I don't know what else. I asked my one relative how they were coping with the suicide situation, and the answer they gave me is, I feel complicated. And I thought, that's a cool way of saying, you know, your mind is all like confused or whatever. They felt complicated. So if you pray and you want to lift our family up in prayer, we could use it. We've been through rough stuff. The next few days especially, we've got to make some major decisions, and the next few weeks will be life-changing. So lift us up, leave us a comment, come along for the ride on the next up-and-coming videos that we have. You want to add anything, young man?
Well, I would just go along and agree with you on all of those things. That it really does. It's when these things happen, it just confirms in your mind that that life is short, and that you.
Good point.
Where am I? Do I need to, like you said the other day, keep short accounts? And also, you know, keep short accounts with your faith, and also with your friends. You know, because those things are so important. And you know, you need to be able to, as they say, when you put your head down on the pillow at night, have a peace that, you know, everything is okay. So I think that's basically what I'm going to say.
Come on, Kippy. You got to be part of this. I know. I know. You poor little babies, right? Oh, the poor baby. Oh. Go ahead and snort away. I know. So we want to thank you. Ooh, you okay? You hurt your foot. Oh, look at. Yeah, you hurt your foot again, buddy. All right, sit down. Sit down. I think the way you jumped down off my lap.
All right.
I want to thank you for coming over. I want to thank you for being part of our lives. We appreciate you, and we really care about all of you. And if there's a topic that you would like us to touch on, we are not experts, but we have lived life in a unique way, and we would love to share what we can to encourage you to be a better person. And again, if you've survived this video and you're at the tail end of this with us, thank you for your words of encouragement, your comments. They mean the world to us. And I guess we'll end it here, and we'll catch you all on the next video.
Thank you. Good.
Yep, we're good.